Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Antwiwaa, just in case you're new here, and this is the very first episode of my visual diaries. I decided to start this series to capture my thoughts, my emotions, and just share a little bit more of myself than I share in my regular living alone vlogs or my regular vlogs. I find that I'm going through a lot of things, not necessarily bad or good, but I'm growing, I'm evolving, and I want to share a little bit more of myself, my thoughts, my good times, my struggles, stuff I'm learning in these sets of what I'm calling my visual diary. For the very first episode, I decided to talk about friendships, particularly female friendships, because for the longest of time I haven't had the best of luck when it came to female friendships, and in hindsight I can see exactly where it started from. And I'll tell you, I've always thought I was a loner, and to be fair, I am a loner to some extent. I thoroughly enjoy being by myself. I enjoy my own company. I can keep myself entertained all month long without necessarily missing out on any human interaction. But recently, I've been doing some reflection, and I feel like I know exactly at what point in my life I decided that maybe being a loner was a good idea. So let me take you back. In primary school, that is before high school, if you're not familiar with our educational system. So back then, I never really had friends. Like, I'm the kind of person who knows a lot of people, or a lot of people know me since I was growing up. But when I say, I don't use the word friends loosely. So when I say friends, I'm referring to somebody that I've built a proper relationship with, somebody that I can be myself completely with, I can open up and all of that. And so I've never really had something like that. And I remember that back in primary school, or like in junior high school, there were these girl groups. If you grew up in like the 2000s, you know what I'm talking about. And I was not cool enough or bad enough, in quotation marks, to be part of the bad girl group. I remember one time I had an issue with one of them. I can't even remember exactly what the issue was, and the whole crew came to me, walked to my face, and gave me a very stern warning. And I was like, okay, not my people. And then I had two other female friends I was close to, but the thing is, I was the third friend, so the two of them were closer to each other than they were to me. So at that point, I never really felt like I belonged. I always used to say that I'm one of the boys because I was closer to the guys, at least in my head, than I was to the girls. And so I'll just go to school, study, have a few conversations here and there, and go back home. And after junior high school, I pretty much didn't hear from most of them, unless I saw them on Facebook or stuff like that. And to be fair, it was nobody's fault in particular. I guess didn't know that, like any other relationship, I had to nurture the friendships I wanted to have and be intentional about them. For some reason, I just thought that, well, I love you, you're my friend, and we can be gone for like years, and whenever we meet it's going to be the same thing. But it never really was. Anyway, I went to senior high school. It was a fresh start, so I thought, okay, I wasn't lucky with friends in junior high school, maybe I can get lucky with friends in senior high school. So again, I got close to a few girls, finally ended up being close to two girls from my class. And again, we were in that 3-friend group kind of thing. I don't know why I found myself in that situation again. But yeah, it was two other girls and me. We're friends. We used to do everything together. Well, almost everything together. And I could be myself with them. I could share stuff. I would share some things with them, but not everything, because I feel like once you get burned in a friendship, it's hard to just completely share everything. So I would share some stuff with them that I would not share with everybody, but I wouldn't share every single thing. Fast forward, I think, I don't remember what year it was in school, but I started hearing stuff about myself. And I was devastated because I thought, it's like it's that shock you experience. And it's like, I thought you guys were in my corner. How did we end up here? So, yeah, I slowly detached myself from them. I don't think they ever found out why I, stopped being close to them or whatever. But I just removed myself. And from that point on, I decided that female friendships were not for me. It was just a bunch of girls who just gossip about each other, show fake love, and are just waiting for something bad to happen to you, or something along that line. I just felt like, just jealousy and gossip and unnecessary stuff that happened. So that was not for me. At that point, I decided that I was just going to keep to myself. After all of you are trash. And that was the mentality that I took into university. So in university, I had friends. And to be fair, I don't hold any of these things against them. I'm sure I was also not the best of friends, because I feel like we're all growing up. We're all figuring things out. And I'm sure I was not the best of friends either. So maybe to them I was also trash, who knows. But yeah, I got to uni, and with whatever I had experienced from junior high school and senior high school, I decided that female friendships are not really going to be for me. I'll be friendly with as many people as I can, but I would not give myself to any relationship, any friendship like that. I had amazing females, ladies in my class, from church, from fellowship, from the hostel and all of that, and I was fine with them, but it was always very shallow. Like, you don't know what's going on in my head, you don't know what's happening with me. You may know when I'm happy or when I'm sad, but you not necessarily know the details and all of that. I think the only few people I got really close to were my roommates, but aside that, every other female friendship I had was very shallow, and I was happy with that. I was happy keeping to myself and all of that. At that point, I decided that I was going to keep every single thing between God, myself, and my journals. And that was fine. And that worked for me until recently. When I say recently, probably like a year or a year and a half ago, I realized that male friendships are great, as in I could be friends with men or males and they're fine, they're great, they could be loyal and all of that. But if you're being honest, half the time these men are either trying to get with you or waiting for something to happen to you so that they could just slide in and or they just didn't fully understand me as a woman. Like, I couldn't share some things with a male friend because no matter how good of a person he was, some things he just cannot understand me on the same level another woman or another female will understand. So around that time, I started having the desire to cultivate female friendships. I had come to terms with the fact that I cannot be a loner all my life. I don't want to be a loner all my life. I was born to be part of a unit. I want that support. I want that love. And, just that community that came with having female friends in my corner, urging me on, supporting me, and, just people I can fall on or rely on. So I decided to open myself up to female friendships once again. And this time I decided that even if I got burned, I would keep trying until I found my tribe. And it was quite weird because I thought it was too late for me. I was way past 20. It was after university. In my mind, everybody I'm trying to be friends with has had friends from pretty much like kindergarten, friends from high school, university, and I'm trying to find a spot in their life, maybe a lost cause, because every other sport is taking. But that didn't stop me. I just put the intention out there, and I just opened myself up to it. So I also started being intentional with the people that are already in my life. They're people that, even though I do not have a deep relationship with, I know that they are in my corner. I know that they care about me, and they generally have good intentions towards me. So I started showing up for these people. I started checking in on them. I was trying my best to nurture the relationship we had, and see where it goes. And it was great. It was nice to know that even though I hadn't been intentional with these people for like God knows how long, some of them were open to getting to know me on a more personal level and just being my friend. And somewhere along the line, I met a Pat, who you have probably seen in this video. At first, I was a bit hesitant because I wasn't sure if she really wanted to be my friend, or she was just somebody that kind of saw me online and just wanted to be in my life, which is weird. Like, who do I think I am? But yeah, that was my first thought. But I started getting to know her, and I realized that we have a lot of things in common. We're almost like the same person, but then we also have our own individuality. So I decided to explore this friendship. I decided to nurture it and see where it goes. And I invited her on our very first date. It was fun. We had a good time. I know she did, because she said she had a good time, unless she lied. And ever since, we've been getting to know each other. We've been spending time together. It's almost like a relationship. And I realized that this is what I should have been doing with the people I wanted as friends in my life, and not just assume that they would automatically know that I care about them and be there for me whenever I needed them. And I'll be the first to say that it is a good feeling to have someone in your corner, and I'm still open to meeting other women and just connecting with them. Not necessarily because of what I can do for them or what they can do for me, but just building that genuine bond or sisterhood that I know is important in pretty much almost every woman's life. And I'm glad I have a Pat. She has a very interesting name. I think that was one of the first things that caught my attention. I had never seen a name like hers. I've been in classrooms of 40, 50 people, and I've never met anybody with that name. Her name is Antwiwaa. We're not even going to get into the last name. Let's just keep it at that. But it's like, what an interesting name. And I used to avoid saying her name out loud because I was so scared I'll mess it up. But thank God, because I think I finally learned how to do it properly. If you are anything like me, if you've been burned by female friendships in any way, and you vow to yourself that, listen, me and female friendships, not for me, I would want you to reconsider, because I believe from the bottom of my heart that we are really not meant to do life alone. No man is an island. You need people, no matter how independent you are. I'm pretty much one of the most independent people I know, and I see what having female friendships, or I see what having genuine friendships has done in my life. I don't want the whole town or the whole city to be my friend. I don't care for that at all. But having 1, 2, 3, 4 people in my corner really has done a lot of good for me. So if you've been burned by female friendships and you decided that I'm not doing that again, maybe you should reconsider, because it's a long life ahead of us, and I don't know how you plan to do that alone, but I have a strong feeling you might need help along the way, and this would be a good time to cultivate that community or that sisterhood that may come in handy in 4, 5, 10 years from now. Another thing I've also been seeing a lot lately or in the past year is that culture of cutting people off. Like if somebody's doing this, cut them off, your friends are not showing up for you, cut them off, And I get it very well, but I feel like we should be a little bit more gracious with our friends, because there's so many things going on in people's lives, and if you be honest with yourself, you're not the main character of people's lives. So yes, it'd be nice to have your friends show up for you whenever you need them, but that would not always be the case, and we should try to be a little bit more gracious. Yeah, cooking this and just pressing her. And when it comes to toxic friendships, look at me talking about friendships like I have like 10 years experience when I'm still a baby in this thing. But I've read so much about toxic friendships, toxic relationships, and yes, I agree. If somebody's toxic, if somebody is not giving you an environment, a conducive environment for you to grow and bloom and be that person that you feel you can become, definitely remove them from your life. But I also feel like we shouldn't be quick to cut people off. I feel like that whole culture of cutting people off is a bit toxic in itself, and we should take a step back, evaluate things before we decide to let people go. Give people a few more chances. If your life is not at risk, please. And then you can cut them off if they're really not that person that you want in your life. This is how my journal entries usually go. Sometimes I reach a resolve, and then sometimes I just go and come back weeks or days later and before I can reach a proper resolve. But with this video, I just wanted to share this bit of me, the part of me that didn't believe in female friendships and has now opened up to having female friends and seeing how transformational that can be. But that being said, I want to know if you are a lady, woman, female, however you choose to call yourself watching this video, have you had any bad experiences in friendships, particularly female friendships, and how did you overcome it? Also, have you had any beautiful, good, uplifting experience with female friendships? You can also share that in the comments to encourage those of us who are pretty much newbies in this whole friendship thing. Thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Otherwise, I would see you in this video right here.